My name is Bethany Richardson, and the title of my speech is Why Being Artsy-Fartsy is a Good Thing. Have you ever had to walk through a field carrying a 12-pound object, making sure your steps were exactly 30 inches, all while trying to carry your upper body as still as possible in the Texas summer heat? No? Well, this is how I spent my last couple weeks of summer vacation for the past 5 years. For some of you, this may sound like torture, but for me, it was pretty normal. I was a member of my high school marching band. Marching band has taught me leadership, self-discipline, and how to interact with a variety of age groups. All of these are considered non-cognitive skills. Betsy Smith from Shamrock Springs Elementary School of Indiana stated in a presentation that non-cognitive skills, in their most simple definition, are simply skills that cannot be measured through standardized testing. They can be taught through a variety of means, but arts programs such as band, theater, and fine arts are how school systems integrate them into their teaching. Non-cognitive skills are an important part of the education system, and now they're being threatened as more and more schools cut their arts programs. Through being heavily involved in arts programs throughout junior high and high school, I can testify how myself and others grew in our non-cognitive skills. I've also seen students through our work in Design for Change grow non-cognitively over the semester. The loss of arts from public schools denies students needed growth in non-cognitive skills, which can be brought back through programs like Design for Change. In order to dig into this, we first need to look at the facts surrounding art programs, non-cognitive skills, and how they affect students. Then we will see why and how often schools are cutting these programs. We will see that certain schools cut these programs more often, and this puts students at a disadvantage. Finally, we will see how the loss of arts programs and non-cognitive development can be remedied. Let's begin with the facts. Extracurricular programs are much more than a creative way for students to let out energy and to express themselves. The arts can play a role in students' development. Fine arts and music programs help students develop and benefit students on an academic level. The complete curriculum by the National Association of State Boards of Education in 2003 states that students who study art are 4 times more likely to be recognized for academic achievement and 3 times more likely to be awarded for school attendance. Researchers also found that sustained learning in music and art correlates strongly with higher test scores in math and reading. In addition, these skills highly benefit students in building character. The same complete curriculum report said that brain research shows that not only does music improve skills in math and reading, but it promotes creativity, social development, personality adjustment, and self-worth. All of these are non-cognitive skills that can help students handle real-life issues. The facts would lead you to believe that schools would value non-cognitive programs. However, more and more often, the programs are losing momentum. More schools are cutting these programs with budgets getting tighter and more focus being put on passing standardized tests. As schools enter into time of financial struggles, the arts and music are the first programs to get cut. According to the February 2014 Arizona Sun article by Jamar Younger, a public school in Arizona cut half of its art and music teachers, 12 staff positions, because of funding issues. Another New York school cut music and art funding by 68%, according to Meredith Kuldner in her 2010 article for the Daily News. These are just 2 specific examples of what has become a national problem. Nationally, the funding for the arts has fallen. With the cutting of budgets, these programs are suffering. The 2013 Huffington Post article, Sequestration Cuts in Schools by Joy Resmovitz, quotes a survey done by the National Association of Federally Impacted Schools. This survey states that 54 out of 298 schools cut or completely reduced and removed their arts programs. Schools no longer see a financial value in these programs, sacrificing them for their set agendas and standardized tests. In addition, the focus is shifting from teaching a well-balanced set of skills to teaching what will be tested for on standardized testing. The further into school I got, I began to take more and more standardized tests, and it became more obvious that our schooling centered on how we did on these tests. Each year, our teachers had us take mini benchmarks, which were standardized tests from previous years, to ensure that when the real test came, we would get the results that the school needed. As the art programs decrease, so do the chances for students to have an equal playing field when it comes to their education. The loss of these programs does not allow for students to have equal skill sets. Schools that cut programs are typically lower income schools because these schools work mostly from funding they receive from the district and not a lot of outside funding. Schools in higher income neighborhoods can afford to continue these programs with supplemental funding. The NASBE study group, who published the complete curriculum, found that schools funded anywhere from 44 to 60% of art programs, leaving the extra 40+% to be made up through parent funding. These unfortunate facts increase the gap in arts opportunities between lower and higher income schools. Ethically, it's important that students receive the same level of opportunities. In his 2009 book, Justice, What's the Right Thing to Do, Michael Sandel quotes John Rawls when he's talking about Rawlsian ethics. From a Rawlsian view, it would be important for students to have equal education opportunities. The way to do this would be to ensure that students have equal opportunities and an even playing field through making sure that the quality and types of education programs, including music and fine arts, are available for everyone. This allows them to complete on an even playing field. Keeping the arts, as well as introducing new programs like Design for Change, could help even out and round out the quality of education students receive. Design for Change has the potential to reach nationally and bring non-cognitive skills back into the school setting. The Design for Change curriculum works through stretching and shaping non-cognitive skills in students. The first step, Feel, works specifically on non-cognitive skills such as empathy and communication skills as they look at the community around them. The Imagine stage pushes students to find creative skills and make solutions for the problem that they have identified in their community. Do pushes resiliency in students and also strengthens their leadership skills as they work to complete and put together projects that will benefit their community. When students are able to recognize their own power, they feel more in control of their environment, and this allows them to push themselves and focus more on their academics. By implementing Design for Change in more schools across the nation, especially schools who are at risk or have completely lost their arts programs, the students will improve academically. This academic growth will allow teachers and staff to put more faith in non-cognitive skills building opportunities and perhaps even bring back their arts programs. As we've now seen, the loss of the arts from public schools denies students needed growth in non-cognitive skills. We learned that the arts programs provide non-cognitive learning opportunities for students. Next, we looked at how budgeting and standardized testing have led to the cutting of these programs. Then, we saw that lower income schools typically lose these programs first, giving them a disadvantage from the upper income schools. And finally, we saw how Design for Change could address these issues, reestablish a balance, and restore faith in the importance of non-cognitive skill building in schools. Artsy-fartsy is a common idea that is thrown around about those who are involved in arts programs and creative thinking. However, this term is really referring to someone who has improved in their non-cognitive abilities through the arts. Therefore, being artsy-fartsy can be a positive thing, as it gives you a wider range of skills. By keeping arts and introducing more extracurricular programs such as Design for Change in schools, and showing that they support both non-cognitive skills and academic achievement, schools better prepare students for standardized tests and give them a good starting point for the rest of their lives.